yeah, Sabrina Ionescu did say this, and the game's a little more physical. And I'm not sure she's ready for handle that. I'm not sure. As if Caitlyn Clark is not the beast that I tried to tell y'all she was, regardless of race.
Tastemakers.
Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living.
Listen, y'all. Caitlyn Clark is out here balling. It's the second half of the WNBA season, and the rookie is going off. Turnovers is still high, but don't get it twisted. She's like 5th in scoring. She's 1st in assist. And she balling out here, and she looking good. And then this week, man, I guess the Cheryl Swoops joint with her was going back and forth. I kind of missed what Cheryl said. What did Swoops say? Brina?
I don't know. I just saw she was going back and forth with Stephen A. Smith, but I didn't catch like what she said though.
Okay, nobody caught what Swoops said? Anyway, there was some back and forth there, or whatever the case may be. But listen, she out here balling. Here's the thing. Caitlyn been balling. It's delusional cats like Goss who thinks the fanfare of Caitlyn Clark has nothing to do with her being a white girl.
Nothing at all.
How do you even see that?
So here's the thing, guys. There are facts that we can go off of, and then there's opinions that we can go off of. And if I'm correct, which I believe I am, you guys correct me if I'm not. When we first brought up this topic on podcast a couple months ago, Quote did give her props about her being great, but he also implied, I want to see if she could do that in the WNBA. I want to see if she could do that against the pros. That was the sentiment. No, you did.
I implied.
You did.
I didn't go heavy on that.
No, I
didn't say it wouldn't translate. But I said, yeah, we do need to see what's going to happen. Is that kind of, we see what you
And to prove that point even further,
okay,
he brought up 2 ladies in the WNBA who also said the same thing, and they were watching a telecast, and Quote was reinforcing their point, saying that, yeah, Sabrina Ionescu did say this, and the game's a little more physical, and I'm not sure she's ready for handle that. I'm not sure. As if Caitlyn Clark is not the beast that I tried to tell y'all she was, regardless of race, regardless of league, regardless of anything. That girl can flat out ball, point blank, period. There is nothing else that you have to add to that sentence to try to lower her down or try to say, but she's only getting this because she's white, or she's only blah, 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 blah. Because she has proven I could be Chinese, nigga. I could be purple. My race does not matter.
Chinese would work in this scenario.
Let me finish.
You'd have the Jeremy Lee effect. Go ahead.
Let me finish. She has proven that
Jeremy Lin.
She has skills on any level in the world. Now, let me let y'all know this real quick. I brought up this conversation. I brought this to the table in our group chat this past week, and it was very interesting, guys. Super, super interesting. Because I asked probably 2 specific questions because I'm a facts guy when it comes to stuff like this. And nobody seemed to answer my question, which I thought was super interesting. Caitlyn Clark, number 1, she's in the conversation for MVP as a rookie, which is, that's number 1. Number 2, she's hands down going to get rookie of the year. Like, there's no question about it. She should have been on the Olympic team. I think that's proven already too. Her team, the Indiana Fever, are now playoff Indiana Fever because of Caitlyn Clark. Man, she's just done so much in her short career already. And I don't even think that it's a conversation of, oh, she's getting all the hype because she's white. No, I think she's getting hype because she's good. I think she's getting hype because she's changed the game. She's top 5 WNBA players right now. You can't name 5 NBA players, 5 WNBA. Like, she has to be in your top 5. Like, there's that was one of the questions that I presented. Nobody can name 5 players better than her. Or I'm sorry, outside of her, like she's in that 5. What else was it? So that's the balling skills stats. Now, this next part of the conversation brought me to a point when I was I was intensely debating, having a friendly conversation with my brother Paris Cariz and Aaron Cole and Jiggy Min. Okay, when we were talking about is Lecrae the GOAT, you feel me? They all felt like Lecrae was the GOAT, and they started to give me reasons.
We might need to hold the Lecrae the GOAT part to another part, right? We're on Caitlyn. You switching topics.
No, I'm not switching topics. It all makes sense. Watch this. I'm about to tie it all in. So they gave me reasons, rap-wise, why Lecrae was the GOAT. So I just gave you reasons, like skill-wise, why Caitlyn Clark is who she is outside of race. Now, if we're talking about impact, because that was one of the things, if we're talking about just in like outside of off the court, right? We're talking about economical impact. She's low-key Deion Sanders out here, okay? And I'm saying Deion Sanders in the way that economically she's bringing more money to a lot of different places based on...
The same way Deion is bringing money to Colorado like crazy right now. Mm-hmm.
Correct. So if the girl is out here balling on the court and she's a one-woman finance show where she comes, people showing up, and that city or that arena, whatever they gonna ball in, you're standing to get a significant increase in a lot of your sales or eyeballs and things like that. These two put together, I'm not buying or hearing all this hype is because she's white. I frankly and legit think and know for a fact the skill of what this girl has is evident. It has nothing to do with her color at all, not one bit. And that's what I was trying to tell these niggas in the group chat.
All right, you finished? Brina, you want to get in on this?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think anybody is attributing her skill to her race, though.
What else?
Of course,
it's the hype surrounding her.
That don't make sense.
It does. It's the same hype Larry Bird got.
I was going to say,
yeah. So
is Larry Bird good or not?
He's a top 10 player in the NBA.
When you have
game.
Okay. Yeah. But when
the thing
you
is,
have
you're trying to act like we're not saying she's good. My bad, Brina. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's what I'm saying. We're not. It's just when you have a league full of black players who are really good, when a white player comes along that's really good, white fans tend to get behind them. And so that's what we're talking about, hype, especially with her coming out of Iowa. Casual WNBA fans. That's just what we're seeing. We're saying the hype surrounding her is for that.
I'm going to tell you why this is not true.
Okay.
When we think of South Carolina, the girls basketball team, who do we think of?
Right now, Dawn Staley.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And she's a coach. She's not even a player. And she's a coach. She hasn't played one game for South Carolina. But she's the first person we think of because the hype is around her. Is around
because she does not lead. If you would have asked me who was that 4 years ago, I'd have said Asia Wilson.
Don't matter. You said Dawn Staley first.
Of course, because she's a coach. Iowa's coach is not known.
Dawn Staley is unapologetically black, super black, as black coach as you can get. So we love Dawn Staley for winning. We love her for winning at South Carolina, and we love her for being black while doing it.
Caitlyn Clark didn't win, though.
If we are talking about the hype's only there because she's white, is the hype only there because Dawn Staley's black? No, it's there because she's good. It has nothing to do with her race.
No, okay. All right. You want me to tag me back in, Bree?
You can go ahead.
There's no
Monique, did you want to get in here on this Caitlyn Clark joint?
It's over.
Just quickly, I just think it is I think it is a great deal because she's white, but basically because of what Bree said, when you have someone coming in the sport that is, for lack of better words, a minority, it is going to be hype surrounding them, just the same as we all hyped up behind Tiger Woods when he hopped into golf and other sports that we typically don't dominate in, and we come in and we dominate. That's what we do. We hype them up. They can be just as good as some of the other players, but because this is a representative that we can connect with, we're gonna hype it and blow it up. We're gonna blow out the stadiums and come. And I think now it's becoming a perpetual cycle because people are talking about it. People are gonna kind of come to the games, pour their money into the league because they want to come see her either succeed or see if she doesn't succeed. Either way, it's just gonna be part of that cycle. So, I mean, it's good for business, and they're going to keep talking about it in the media because it's good for business.
You said something interesting, which I totally agree with, and I think
Shouts
y'all
out to
proved my
Lost and
point
Found in the chat.
in that statement. You said we do that. They don't do that. We do. That's what we do.
We do. Hold on. We do what?
We come out for our people. We're hyped because they're black and they're doing good. We're hyped because a black person's in like a president.
Have you never heard? I mean, there's literally a phrase for this. The phrase is called the Great White Hype. Would you like to explain what that means, Goss? What does the Great White Hype mean? There's a phrase for it.
Quote, I'm not saying that phrase is not true, but that sentiment is more prevalent and more seen in our culture than it is for white folks. Like, they don't do that the way we do. He's out of here. He's about to come back.
He just left. He left the building.
he'll be back soon. I want to make my point why he's here, so he can hear this. Okay, there you go. He's back in the building, back in the black. All right. So we can name way more black people who we do this for than we can name white people who we do this or who they do this for. This is something that we do. So it's possible that you could be projecting because we do it. So you're like, y'all do it too. And that's not the case. That's they don't do that. That's something that we do.
That's right, Tasha. We're all humans too. Okay?
Shout out to Tasha in the chat. Yes, Tasha, thank you so much. All humans do it, aka Linsanity.
Are y'all serious? Linsanity was garbage.
What do you mean it was garbage?
He was trash, bro.
He had a moment, a long moment.
Oh, are we really comparing Caitlyn Clark's hype to Linsanity's hype?
I am. He was on the cover of Time magazine.
The hype. The hype behind him is similar. Not the skill set.
Is Caitlyn Clark going to be a better WNBA player than Lynn?
Bro,
Lynn
y'all
is
gotta
a
relax.
better NBA player? Heck yes.
Y'all gotta relax.
Goss, we're always talking about more than one thing. We're not always talking about a singular thing. There's multiple things going on.
I'm gonna tell you though what we should be comparing this. LeBron's hype when he came to the league, it was the same hype. Like it was because and LeBron. It had nothing to do with his color. We weren't like, I hope he makes it.
But it was because of his age. He was like,
no, it wasn't. It was because his talent. He was good.
It was talent,
too, but it was also age too.
Yeah.
But it was talent. He was a prodigy.
Bro, everybody.
And then they do this. They spin this where they find somebody that they say we're gonna put all our focus on and blow them up. So with LeBron, we're gonna blow up this young kid
but
who's
you can't blow it up if you're not good. You can't blow it up if you're not good.
Who said Caitlyn Clark wasn't good?
No, I'm saying to that point specifically. So it's what Monique's saying specifically. Like the talent has to be there already. I know you guys are saying she was good.
Yes, the talent is there already.
But nobody was like, we're rooting for LeBron because he's black. We're rooting for LeBron because he's a sensational, generational, phenomenal player, and so is Caitlyn. What Caitlyn has done.
Nobody says they're rooting for LeBron.
But I'm telling you,
because being black in the NBA is not a minority.
You have an asterisk by it because she's white.
But I think also a lot of this hype is also
her hype, not her skill set.
And I'm saying that's not fair or correct.
When Caitlyn Clark, let's get this straight. All right, let's be clear.
I know you love Caitlyn Clark. She's the best player. Blah blah blah. I know.
Caitlyn Clark is not better than Asia Wilson. We all know that,
bro. That's like saying Iverson's not better than Shaq. They play two different positions. You can't compare the two.
I disagree.
What do you mean?
I think you can compare the two.
You can't. Okay, who's better, Iverson or Shaq?
Shaq.
Yeah, I agree.
Duh, nigga. Because he's 7 foot.
The
he's
total,
a center.
His
career
but his
free throws were
better as well.
You can't compare the two. You can't compare Iverson versus Shaq. Like that's like no sports analyst has done that ever in their life. But you can compare like a Kobe and an Iverson or like a Jordan and a Kobe because they play the same position. So I'm saying that analogy doesn't shake for me.
Anyway, Caitlyn Clark's a good player. The fact
good player?
Great player. She's
a really good player. She's a really good player.
Top 5 WNBA?
Not
I
yet.
think she's top. I think she might be top. I know she's top
Y'all
10.
bugging.
She might
It's
be
too
top
early.
5.
Who's better than Caitlyn? That's top. Give me 5 players better than Caitlyn Clark.
That would mean that I'd have to invest a great deal of time in watching WNBA, which I do not.
Fam.
And I don't think you do either.
I do.
Because I don't think you can name 15 WNBA players
Because of
right
Caitlyn
now.
Clark, I do. Because of Caitlyn Clark, I do.
I don't believe you could name 15 WNBA players right now.
I don't need to name 15. I'm just telling you she's top 5.
I don't believe you could name 15 WNBA players in the history of the WNBA.
I can't name 15 NBA players probably.
This just took a turn.
Oh, wow.
This took a turn.
Wow.
Like it's not
The
the point
point
is
is,
that.
the point is, I could name 15 WNBA players in the history of the WNBA. Because I
Okay.
used to be a fan of the league. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah.
I don't watch it anymore just because out of honestly utter busyness. I just don't watch it anymore.
You really think there's 5 players that are better than Caitlyn Clark?
But I think the All-Star game would show you that.
Wow.
I think the goal. Yeah, I mean, did you not watch the All-Star game?
she's top
You
5. She's not under
you
5.
She might be. Like I said, I could easily probably find about a good 6 or 7 that I would go to. Whatever. I think she's definitely in the top 10, which is excellent for a rookie. That is beautiful. That's a wonderful thing.
Has nothing to do. The hype has nothing to do with her race. Has everything to do with her talent.
Listen. Shouts out to Caitlyn Clark. She is skilled. She is great. She might end up being the best player to ever play the game by the end of the day.
And you
by
still
the
gonna
time
be
it's
like,
all
it's
said
'cause
and
she's
done.
right.
I'm gonna say the hype machine,
Insane.
the
That
money,
discredits.
the
that's-
viewership
That discredits
is
her talent.
because of her color.
That's discredit her talent.
Because there are other players that have been there and better.
Who
Candace Parker.
came in the league
If it-
better than Caitlyn Clark?
Yes,
Diana
Candace
Taurasi
won,
came in the league like
won
crazy.
Rookie of the Year and MVP her rookie
In
year.
the same
I'm-
year.
So
Time out.
Candace
the
Parker
same
won Rookie of the
year.
Year and MVP same year.
Yes, she did. I agree. But again, like I said,
And when she
I
did
will-
that as a rookie, guess how many people cared?
I will never.
right.
Like I said earlier, I just don't think you can compare Iverson and Shaq. Like I just don't think.
Candace, you told every big is a center now. Candace wasn't necessarily a center.
Yes. What?
No, when she
center.
came in the league, she came in with She came in for the Sparks when she came in initially,
She wasn't
right?
no guard.
Lisa
She was
came.
a forward.
Lisa
Lisa
was the center.
That's why
Lisa was the
Candace-
center. So Candace
wasn't no
Parker.
guard,
Candace Parker's won't no center either.
but she's considered a big man.
She got handles. Don't get it twisted. Candace
but
got
she's
handles.
a guard. She don't got Caitlyn Clark handles.
I wish I watched enough WNBA to tell you what position exactly
Man,
that Candace
this girl's
Parker
a
played,
generational
but she
talent,
was
bruh.
not a center.
This girl Caitlyn's a generational talent. And
I
has nothing
think
to
she
do
is.
with her race.
Yes, I would agree.
We agree,
She is a
we
generational
agree.
talent.
Yeah, but you're saying the hype is because she's white, and I think that's
hype is
disrespectful.
because she white. She brought more white viewers to the black league.
And the
But it's
hype
saying
is
the hype
carry
around- but
over
the hype
from when
around-
she was in college. The hype is still kind of
It's,
But the hype
it's
around
the
Helen
same.
Keller is not because she black.
It's the same thing that happened to the NBA when the NBA was about to go out of business.
Is the hype
it was
around
the
Dawn Staley
magic
because
and
she's black?
bird effect. Matter of
Is-
fact, shouts out to Angela Reese because she was juxtaposed against Caitlyn Clark, and it created the magic bird effect, which
the hype
sends
around
a
Dawn
bunch
Staley
of white
because she's
people who are still majority culture and still make $10 to every dollar that we make. That makes it a fuse of money and viewership to WNBA, which I'm glad it happened. Thank God for Caitlyn Clark. Thank God.
thank God for the rivalry because now
My
it's
bad.
been-
I might have said Angel Reese. You know what I mean. Angel Reese, Angel Wings. She and I got the Reese's Pieces endorsement too a little bit too. That was kind of hot.
She did.
Yeah. But shouts. Nobody. You think that we're trying to take something away from Caitlyn?
No, I don't. I think that you acknowledge that she's great, but you're acknowledging that she's great because the hype is around her because she's white, and I think that's disrespectful to the great things that she's factually done already. That has nothing to do with her race. If any other person was doing this, they'd get the hype too. Angel Reese got the same hype, if not more. Well, not more, but the same
Again,
height.
we're trying to tell you that Candace Parker literally run Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year coming out of college as Caitlyn Clark has come out of college.
Sure.
And she balled out so bad. And guess what? Who paid attention? Nobody. And I
Nah,
say
But I
nobody,
think
of
also
course.
it was just a different season for women's
It was a different
basketball
season.
too.
Nobody not paid attention. It was just like Caitlyn Clark could have came out then, and nobody would not.
Right.
nobody
It's
would
like
care.
the hype in women's
no.
basketball
Well,
really has sparked, and that's why
So some
people
of
are
it's
now
the hype of
focusing.
listen, and I'm gonna say this, and then we can go ahead and get to another topic. But I'm gonna say some of this hype too. Don't get it twisted, y'all. There's always a bunch of things going on. I'm gonna be honest with you. Well, no, I'll stay off of that point. That's political. I'll stay off of that point. There's always creating the perfect atmospheres of things, and this is just the perfect atmosphere. All the things lined up for this to pop up. We had a great player in Caitlyn Clark, and she happened to be white. I'm telling you, if she was black, this would not have happened.
That's not true because Angel Reese proved that point.
The only reason why we're seeing any of this is because of their rivalry
Exactly.
between Angel Reese and Caitlyn Clark. She had a fan base.
the only
Angel had a
reason.
fan base. Yes, it is.
No,
Because
it's not,
now it
bruh.
translated. It did. It translated into the WNBA because now the storyline is Caitlyn going to be more successful than Angel? Is the Chicago Sky going to be less successful than the Indiana Fever? They're going to track both of their careers just like they did Larry Bird and Magic Johnson when they played in college and when they got to the NBA. It's going to be the same thing.
But that's
We're-
different.
nobody-
Like marketing is different from this is the reason why you're getting this much hype. Like once you have a product to market, I totally get that. But the product isn't like the black-white thing. It's these two women who've had chippy history. Like it could have been two black girls who hated each other.
No,
Could've been-
because you don't. Do you not watch the comment section of when Angela
Yeah, I
posts
do.
things?
Nah, for
do you,
sure.
So do you see how white people be coming for her neck, calling her
Yeah.
all kinds of names
Yeah,
and whatnot?
I understand that, but they didn't create that. That just happened because one was white and one was black. So that's how that like it just happened because of that. But I'm saying we can't attribute the hype. Like the hype is nothing without talent. Correct?
You're right.
Ask
And
Tim
nobody
Tebow.
on this show all night has ever said that Caitlyn Clark wasn't a great talent.
I didn't say you did it.
Nobody
I know. I
said
told you. I said plenty of times.
But I think the
that you did.
hype became intensified because of the rivalry, because of the white girl who's balling like the black girls. The hype was intensified because college hoops was really blowing up, and now some of those players are coming over to the WNBA. So it was all. I think all of it. They just sat back and said, "How can we blow this sport up even bigger?" And it worked because we're still talking about it, and everybody's supporting it now.
Indeed, which I think
I'm
is a
about to get
beautiful
Caitlyn
thing.
Clark patted on my forehead.
You're not, but okay.
Okay, all right.
Let's see.
We support you.
Oh, no.
Love Caitlyn, boy.
No, I mean, like I said, I'm all for it, man. I'm all for it. I mean, she's a baller. She's great. I definitely hope she continues to do well and excel. But you'll never convince me that the hype surrounding wasn't also due to skin color. Not in the good old US of A. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Not in the good US of A. So
Streets.
that's what it is, y'all. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all the things. Good to see you guys in the chat. Y'all make sure to share out. Make sure you hit the like button. Please, please, please. It's your reasonable service. It's the least you can do to help us out. You know what I mean? Unless if you want to cash app the Tastemakers Pod, then you could really help us out. I'm just saying. But if you don't want to do that,
Tastemakers. Class. We do more than make a living, we make a life. When everything is dark, we are the light. We are the tastemakers. Aight. Let tomorrow tell the stories that we make tonight. We do more than make a living, we make